All right, it is Wednesday morning. We are back at IRC, making some noise. Just saw the little team meeting we had last Sunday. We're heading out to Parker, Arizona for the Legacy 500 Parker Dam race. It's coming up on Saturday. When's qualifying? Tomorrow? Thursday?
Yep, tomorrow.
Tomorrow's qualifying, so stick around. Yeah, let's do this. All right, took us 5 hours to drive out to Parker, Arizona from Jason's shop. We're here at Master Fabrication. If you're ever in Parker and you need some work done, make sure you look him up. So we're gonna call Master Fabrication our remote race shop. We're gonna store the Class 1 here while we're here out in Parker for the Legacy race. Class 1 is offloaded, nicely secure in the shop at Master Fabrication here in Parker, Arizona. But before that, we're gonna head over to qualifying registration, figure out what's going on there, and then we'll go from there. Just made it out to registration for qualifying, as well as I get to pick up my media credentials. So yeah, let's get on it.
Number, please. 1528. 1528. You're not a driver. You're a co-driver.
I'm a co-driver.
But you gave me the left hand. You knew I would be.
No, but that's okay because this is a right-hand drive car. The steering wheel's on the wrong side of the car.
Just like in England.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Or Australia.
Is he lying?
No, I'm dead serious. It's a right-hand drive car.
Okay, I will believe you. Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, I will believe you. It's easy to fool me. I'm 69 going on 70. It's easy to fool me.
I thought I had to pull you who was Kyle so we can make sure that
Okay,
he
so
qualifies.
these two will go there.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Just wrapped up registration, got our waiver signed, got our wristbands, so we're gonna close it up for tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday. What is today? Qualifying. Kyle and Sean are gonna put the all-wheel drive Class 1 through its paces and hopefully qualify on top. So we'll see how they do today. But first, we're gonna do some last-minute checkups on the Class 1. Then we're gonna load up, head out to qualifying. After qualifying, we're gonna go tech and contingency. Tomorrow's our day off, and Saturday we race, so stick around. Got the all-wheel drive Class 1 loaded up on the trailer. We're gonna head out to qualifying and put this thing on the pole. Let's go, Kyle the Animal. Just offloaded the Class 1. We're here at staging for qualifying. So Kyle and Sean are gonna jump in, put the pedal to the metal, and let the baby eat. So we'll see how they do. Oh yeah. First time seeing an all-wheel drive Class 1?
Yeah, it's pretty trippy, and a right-hand steer. That's wild.
So what are your thoughts so far? I mean, you're the hottest guys out here so far.
I mean, the car looks good. Definitely some different geometry and whatnot, but it looks good. Looks like a good car. And with Kyle behind the wheel, I'm sure you guys will be pretty fast. So if it stays together, you guys will be doing good.
You're standing next to an all-wheel drive Class 1. You think it's an unfair advantage against you guys in your two-wheel drive Class 1?
I don't know if I'd say unfair advantage. I mean, it's following all the rules. It's doing everything right. It's definitely an advantage. And obviously they have one of the best drivers in off-road at the moment with Kyle driving it. So we'll see what goes down, but it'll be a long race. It's 4 laps this year and doing a full 480 miles. That changes the game a little bit for this race too. So you need a little more longevity out of your car, and a lot of cars have new car blues and new car teething pains, so welcome. We're here at Parker Race, at the Legacy Race. You brought your brand new Mason, but we do have the International Race Cars all-wheel drive one. What are your thoughts on it?
It's pretty cool. I've watched the build. Jason does an incredible job. Looking forward to see how the all-wheel drives. You got truck versus buggy here at this race. So for us out here, we're just doing more testing before we go down to Mexico. Make sure I'm comfortable in the truck. Make sure we have all the bugs worked out, which it is. But yeah, no, we're gonna have some fun. See what happens.
All right, Sean. Talk to me, buddy. Right before qualifying, what's going through your head?
Not much. Excited to see the course. Excited to see what the truck will or what the car will do. Yeah, gonna go out and just put it down. Try to get that top slot.
What's the game plan today?
We're gonna try to put it on top, for sure. We want to show everybody what the car can do. Do I think I'm gonna get the pole? I don't know. We'll find out. But we're gonna definitely try. We've never really put it in this kind of situation before. We don't know how fast it is or how slow it is. We'll find out a lot today, a lot of learning. But I do think we have a beautiful car. Looks awesome. Good team. Everybody's excited. Step one of many. This is going to be a good day to get everybody's blood pumping, and we've long time coming to our first big race. So we're excited. Sean and I are ready.
Tell us about the qualifying. How long is it, and so on?
It's a short loop. I don't know. I think Kyle's. We want him to push really hard. He's going to push as hard as he can. This is kind of the first race, even though we had the Moore one, but we're going to see how it goes. We did really well on that last test session, and if he can hold that pace, man, he's going to do good today. So we'll see.
Go get him, guys. Leave me hanging, Sean. Have fun out there. Sean and Kyle just went off the line for their sight lap. Sight lap is just to go check out the course, learn what they have to qualify on. Then they're going to come back, restage, and then let it rip to see where they qualify for the starting order. All right, Kyle, tell us about the sight lap.
We like the course. It's got a lot of corners. It's sandy. All the things that we want for an all-wheel drive Class 1. Not a lot of big bumps. So we should have a fighting chance to put this thing near the top. We'll find out in a little bit.
All right, guys, qualifying time. What's on your mind?
Let's see what she's got. We'll be ready, though. We're ready. The car's ready.
All right, Kyle, let it rip.
How did qualifying go?
Good. Car's in one piece. We're looking at the data right now to see how everything is running, but from my point of view, everything's running really clean. The lap was okay. I'm still learning the hairpin corners, but ultimately it should be near the top. I don't know if it's going to be the top, but it was a clean run, and that usually means somewhere towards the front.
Give us a recap on how qualifying went.
Well, we don't know because we don't have the results, but it definitely was quick. So we're up there somewhere. I don't know where we're at, but it was clean. Car came back very clean, which is really what I'm mostly worried about, but she's definitely not slow. So it's going to be interesting to see where that stacks up. But at least the parts that we saw, she was moving, you know, so as soon as we see the results, we'll see, but it doesn't even matter to me. I'm just happy that the car's back together. We're great. So we're going to clean it up, go to Tech, then tomorrow do pit practice and the race.
All right, here we are at Tech. They're gonna go through the car, make sure it's all legal. Fire suits, head restraints, making sure everything's up to date. So yeah, come along.
Way down in there. Maybe 24. That's good. Yeah, 5 years. They're good. 2029.
It's like a brand new suit too.
Just got our helmets and suits checked. Brand new helmets, brand new suits, so that was easy. No hassle this time. Moving on.
All right, we just passed Tech. The all-wheel drive Class 1 passed. Kyle and Sean got their personal safety gear through Tech inspection. They passed. So now we're gonna head back to the race shop, do a little maintenance on the all-wheel drive Class 1, practice some pits, and then yeah, call it a day. Tomorrow's a break, and Saturday we race. All right, Jason, we just got the qualifying results. Talk to me, Daddy.
Second place. I'm very happy to have an open wheel car like this, mix it up with the all-wheel drive trucks is fascinating to say the least. But Sendero is first. Adam is right behind us. Both phenomenal. I believe Connor was in the Sendero, arguably one of the top guys driving out here. And to be fair, Adam is also one of the top guys. So just the fact that we're in the mix that's pretty rad for the first go. So I'm very happy with it. Obviously, you'd like to be first, but Kyle gave her hell, and I'm very appreciative of him and Sean. And right now, man, I'll take that second. I'm fine with that. I'm very happy with that showing. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right, you just heard the man. Jason Elvis Hurd comes out on second place with the brand new all-wheel drive Class 1. Kyle and Sean did an amazing job. So this is gonna be one heck of a race. So yeah, we're just tightening her up. Tomorrow's kind of a day to relax, do some last minute stuff. We're gonna do some pit practices, fueling, and so on. And then Saturday is race day. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. The International Race Cars all-wheel drive Class 1 is gonna be taking some names. Early Saturday morning, and that means it's race day. Yep, we're gonna put this all-wheel drive Class 1 through 484 miles at the Legacy Parker 500 race. Our goal is to finish. So we're gonna load her up, head out to the starting line, and go from there. Wish us luck. All right, we're at the starting line for the Parker 500. You can see the teams lined up behind me, getting ready for the start for 484 miles, I believe it is. It's gonna be a long race. It's gonna total of 4 laps, so we'll see how many cars and trucks actually survive and who comes up on top. All right, Harvey, you shredding these buggies. Now you're standing in front of an all-wheel drive Class 1. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Just taking a look at this new car right now, all-wheel drive Class 1 car. Definitely game changer. I'm a buggy dork for life. I wish I had all-wheel drive when I was doing it after driving all-wheel drive trucks now, but saw it ripping at qualifying. Pretty excited to see what it's gonna do. Yeah, works beautiful. I'm excited to see what it's gonna do, see where this brings the sport. Cool. Hopefully they can run down the trucks and buggies are on top again.
Nice. So how would you like to get behind the wheel of this guy?
I like to get behind the wheel of anything, but driving all-wheel drive Class 1 car I think would be fun. I'd like to experience it. Like I said, watch it rip around. I know what the all-wheel drives can do now. I know what the buggies do now, so combine those together. it's going to be a rocket ship. I can tell. Lighter, faster. I guarantee it squirts hard. It's going to be fun, especially on a course like Parker with all the graded roads. This car is going to be fast.
Now, do you think it's an unfair advantage for the two-wheel drive buggies?
Absolutely. I can only say that now after driving a two-wheel drive truck versus a all-wheel drive truck. A two-wheel drive buggy is going to have a very hard time keeping up with this car, especially with Kyle driving. So I think game changer. Everyone else is going to have to step up to run up front with an all-wheel drive buggy now.
So what are your thoughts on the International Race Cars all-wheel drive Class 1?
Yeah, I mean, you know, these races, all-wheel drive is definitely the way of the future. You know, I think, you know, building the buggy with a little more aerodynamic than a truck has potential to go super fast on the roads. And, you know, in all my years of racing and stuff, I'm always, you know, thinking about what is a fast vehicle, and definitely there's potential there in a aerodynamic buggy. So it's going to be interesting. We got, you know, 3 all-wheel drive start in front of us today with Connor McMullen and then Kyle and Adam, and we're the first two-wheel drive, so we're going to try to run them down. It's kind of like a challenge, I guess, and you know, they have the advantage on how quick they get out of the corners. I've driven all-wheel drive trucks before, and I've actually driven all-wheel drive buggy a long time ago. Nye Frank built one, and it was a rocket ship, so super excited to be part of it, and you know, we're going to go run with these guys and try to put them in their place. So yep, it's all good.
All right, Connor, first of all, congratulations on putting your trophy truck on the pole position. But you do have a brand new Class 1 that's right on your heels.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the all-wheel drive Class 1?
You know, I think it's good competition. You know, in a buggy, I'm a buggy guy, so you know, it's awesome to see a buggy out here with all-wheel drive. That's kind of what this sport's been pushing a lot, is all-wheel drive's the next big step in a trophy truck, and then now to a buggy. So for these guys to put a lot of work and a lot of effort and R&D time in this new buggy, it's going to be interesting to kind of see where it pans out and how it does. And I think it'll do really well. But you know, you got people behind you, but you got to look forward ahead and just kind of keep trucking and keep your day. Your day is your day, and you know, they'll have their day. So they got to fight through my desk. So you know, I just got to keep this thing alive, keep it up front, and you know, just keep a good pace today.
You killed it during qualifying. What's your guys' game plan?
Just manage. Try to get this car. Keep saying truck. Try to get this car to the finish. It's a long day, 500 miles. It's rough out there. The goal is to get it to the finish, and maybe lap 3, 4, we can put a little push on, try to get an overall win. But the big thing is we want to get a finish.
Cool. What's your strategy today?
Just keep clicking off miles. Keep our heads down, just keep moving. Stay in the car. Don't want to get out, don't want to change any tires, don't want to have to work on it. Just stay in, keep moving, click it off miles.
You put the all-wheel drive Class 1 almost on the pole. Tell us about qualifying.
Qualifying went great. For our first run out, to get second, we couldn't be happier. That was just where we want to be. Now we get to chase somebody. The car's in good shape. Made some suspension changes last night. I think we're going to have a good day. It's still a prototype vehicle, and there's a potential for bugs to be sorted out, but it isn't without a lack of effort with testing and the crew. Might be our day. I guess we'll find out.
What's your game plan today for the race?
I am going to cruise for the first couple laps and see how the car feels. It's a 500-mile race in Parker. It's going to become a marathon race. This is not a sprint by any means, and I think if people get too amped up here at the start and forget that it's a marathon, the attrition might become a factor for them. So we're gonna try to be here at the end. Is the game plan here with this race.
Cool. Anything else you want to add?
Nope. Happy to be here.
Awesome, dude.
Yep.
Let it rip. All right. We are lined up for the start of the Parker 500. 4 laps, 484 miles. Let's see how the all-wheel drive international race car does. And super pumped for Jason and the team having me out. Let's let her rip. Well, the day has come to an end. Unfortunately, we had some drivetrain issues which aren't repairable. Putting the boys out, unfortunately didn't even complete one lap in our goals to finish the race. So back to the drawing board, figure out what went wrong, fix it, and come back out. That's racing. So stick around, we'll get the truck back, and we'll get some more details.
It was a short one for us. We only went 35 miles. We had a axle shaft break under braking. So when we're decelerating, we think we have a potential wet clutch issue where the front wheel drives and the rear wheel drive are locked one-to-one all the time. And when you're going into a corner, the front wheels want to be moving. They hit a bump at a different time as the rear wheels. Eventually something has to give. They need to free spin, and I think something is locking it up electronically or air pressure on the wet clutch, because this is the second time. So we should get back to the drawing board and see why it's locked up. The car is fast. It was running good. You know, we were keeping pace, but only mile 35 and the axle let go. So back to the shop. Got to keep our heads straight. Everybody's make sure we don't get discouraged and keep going. It wasn't going to be easy. We knew this wasn't going to be easy. So if it was easy, everybody would do it. Back to the drawing board.
All right, Jason. So let's give a true, accurate description of what really went on this race weekend.
Okay, so part of the all-wheel drive system is computer controlled, and we have different parameters in how she reacts, etc., etc. And so the forward engagement for our drive system is a wet clutch assembly. And so what was happening is there is something in the programming there that we have to dive into, and James is going to do that with us tomorrow, but it, for some reason, decided to not disengage the front drive under braking and deceleration. And what that does is break stuff, because you want that to be free spool. And so we have to dive in there and see specifically where and what parameters we need to adjust, because clearly it kind of got just pissed off. And somewhere, like literally right before he turns into midway on that right-hander, it just instantly locked up the all-wheel drive system under braking, and we snapped a stub shaft, because that's the opposite of what the computer should be doing. And so everything was going great, but this is just a part of development. You know, we have brand new systems in this thing, a lot of electronics and a lot of things, and we don't know if this was something that got overlooked in the programming side or what, but we're going to find out and correct the issue, and then we'll be back in the dirt. So it's just one of those things that development is development, and this is part of the game.
All right, guys, you just heard Jason and Kyle recap what happened to the all-wheel drive Class 1. As Jason said, back to the drawing board, fix what's wrong, get back out and racing. I want to thank Jason and his team for having me out again, and we'll see you next time.